Hello students, this is Mrs. Williamson Sparky, and today we would like to read to you If I Build a School. Now imagine that! If you could build a school, how would it look like? Now, the author and illustrator of this book, Chris Van Dusen, he wrote a few books titled If I Build Something. The first one he created is called If I Build a Car. He also created If I Build a House. And I think one of my favorites of all time books is If I Build a School. Now, Chris Van Dusen illustrated that book and also wrote that book. Chris Van Dusen very often illustrates books for other authors, but as you can see in this book, he can also write. So he's both an author and illustrator. That's pretty amazing. I wish I was as talented as Chris Van Dusen. I love his drawings. I love his type of writing. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Dr. Seuss rhyming. You will notice there's a lot of rhyming in his book. If you've ever got a chance to read his books before, you already know that. Well, let's get started. If you'd like to read a book, clap your hands. If you'd like to read a book, clap your hands. If you'd like to read a book, listen up and take a look. If you'd like to read a book, clap your hands. All right. Our ears are listening and our eyes are looking, and we have a beautiful, amazing, very imaginary book called If I Built a School. Now, some of it, who knows, one day might even happen. Some of the things in this book already exists. Some is very futuristic. Now, think about it as we read it, like, what would you like to have in your school if you could ever build a school? If I Build a School by Chris Van Dusen. Look at all the projects. So he was thinking about different types of school. Thinking right here. And there he is. His name is Jack. Jack on the playground said to Miss Jane, "This school is okay, but it's pitifully plain. The builder who built this, I think, should be banned. It's nothing at all like the school I have planned." I wonder how it's going to look like. Are you ready? Whoa! Animals! I love that! If I built a school, the first thing you'd meet are lots of cute puppies. They'd flock to your feet. But why stop at puppies? Why not a whole zoo? So I'd add a bunch of big animals too. Nice. Right off the lobby to get to your class, I'd set up a system of tubes made of glass. You hop in a pad, press the number, then zoom. In under 10 seconds, you're right at your room. Nice. The puppies are everywhere. Cute. All of the classrooms are built onto towers that sprout from the schoolyard like colorful flowers. And like giant petals that welcome the day, the roofs open up in a similar way. Panels fold back and they let in the sun, which frankly makes being there that much more fun. Now imagine if your rooftop could just open up and close, right? Whenever you needed it to. That would be wonderful. And just being outside right? Beautiful. Now come see your classroom. Isn't it grand? That free floating platform is where you would stand. So he's telling that to his teacher. And using a stylus, you write in the air. No blackboard, no whiteboard, no, nothing is there. Your words just appear and they magically glow. Don't ask how this works, 'cause I don't really know. But you're not the only one floating around. Check out the desks. They don't touch the ground. These are my hover desks. See how they glide? They even have bumpers in case you collide. In my kind of classes, we wouldn't have tests. I'd liven things up with some hologram guests. Here are some samples of what I've been thinking. You might meet a T-Rex or Abraham Lincoln. Nice. The library's next. So let's have a look. You won't find your everyday regular book. These books come alive when removed from the racks. They pop up like pop-ups, but pop to the max. And if you're not sure what a book is about, you'll find out quite quickly when something pops out. Jack and the Beanstalk. And Jack and the Beanstalk pops out. And he must be reading something about maybe a flying car. Maybe this boy is reading this book, If I Build a Car. Right? It's off to the gym, and this place is so cool. Around it, please note my perimeter pool. The pool's a deep oval that everyone likes. You race underwater on submarine bikes. Up there is my trampoline basketball court. It's partly a bounce house and partly a sport. There's also a rock wall. And here's something new. I've added some skydiving wind tunnels too. Wow, that's an amazing gym. Some of that already exists, like rock climbing, trampoline, basketball, but I haven't seen a submarine bike just yet in my life. Oh, I know that exists, the skydiving wind tunnels, right? I haven't been to one, but I've seen them on videos. I just heard the lunch bell, so let's go and eat. I'd like you to meet my new robo chef, Pete. He's 20 feet tall and he spins on a gear. You order your lunch in this microphone here, and Pete can make anything simple or weird, from PB and jelly to squid, lightly seared. It's now time for recess. Let's head out the door. My playground is awesome. So much to explore. Fly on the zip line way up in the sky, or slide down the twisty slide 3 stories high. And after all that, if you're hot and you're beat, then you can go tubing. Now, that would be sweet. Wow, there's also horseback riding. Go-karts? Wow. It's kind of like a lazy river and you go tubing. I would go there in a beat. In a heartbeat. Yes, I would be there even in summer. In art, we use sprayers to splash out the paint. In music, we're loud, but our teacher's a saint. And over in science, just one of the features is lab-grown, genetically modified creatures. I don't know about that. I might be scared of those genetically modified creatures. How about you? We'll visit new places, travel, explore, 'cause we'll go on field trips. field trips galore. My specialty buses will tote us around. They dive underwater, they blast off the ground. And yes, they have wheels like our regular cars, which neatly retract when we rocket to Mars. Wow, they're going to Mars on a field trip. My school will amaze you. My school will astound. By far the most fabulous school to be found. Perfectly planned and impeccably clean. On a scale 1 to 10, it's more like 15. And learning is fun in a place that's fun too. This is Jack's school. He must be so happy. If I build a school, that's just what I'd do. Oh, the teacher is thinking, huh? Now, this is the end of the story. Well, lots of it looked quite futuristic, but some of it already exists now. It is imaginary, but who knows, maybe one day schools will sort of look like this one, like Jack's school. Now, what did you think of the story? I love that story. I think it's so important to be able to use your imagination. And now Chris Van Dusen, he's a grown-up, right? But he has a wonderful imagination. But I know children are the best. Children have the best imagination possible. So I would like you to think in your heads and maybe share with your siblings or your parents or even teachers at school what kind of school you would build if you had a chance, right? Now, I've listened to the interview with Chris Van Dusen, and actually many children wrote to him ideas about if I built, and they chose a school, and he was like, maybe the children would like me to write a book about it, because he has already written a book, If I Build a Car, before, and I think children gave him the idea of writing this book because they wrote to him many letters and they sent him some ideas. So this book was inspired by some children as well. So that's why imagination of Jack in this book, it's so wonderful, I think. Well, thank you so much for listening. Sparky would like to say bye, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.